Let's move on to the rookie of the year. Last year we had Wemby. Chet was in it for a second. You and I were trying to kind of make a case for Chet early, and then that was it. Wemby just blew
that evaporated.
Yeah, and then Brandon Miller, I think in any other year, without those two guys in front of him, would have had a really strong case. He came on. He was shooting the lights out, especially with LaMelo down. He looked really good. This year, there's a pretty heavy favorite in Zach Edey at plus 290. After that, the top two guys who were picked, Reece Shea at plus 700 and Alex Sarr plus 950. Reed Shepherd's in there plus 750. Stephon Castle at plus 1,000. And then Dalton Connect at plus 1,600. Bill, I don't know if you saw his preseason game the other night.
I did.
He went absolutely lights. I watched that. This is what a full life I lead. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch the entire Lakers game with no LeBron and no Anthony Davis. And I'm glad I did, because Dalton Connect went bananas. And I think like he's going to be a really, I don't think he's going to win rookie of the year, Bill, but the way that JJ wants to play, Redick was talking about how he would like them. And this is absurd, but not surprising that JJ wants them to shoot more 3-pointers, because I believe they were third to the bottom last year in 3-point attempts per game. He wants them to shoot 50 3-pointers per game, which, by the way, would be first in the NBA by a lot and significantly more than they shot last year. And I don't think they got the people for it. But my whole point of this was Dalton Connect, if he's a regular rotation player, and I suspect he will be because they need threes, he's going to be jacking up a ton of threes.
He's an interesting bet, and you get that Laker shine. I mean, from a gambling perspective, if you're out there looking, I mean, if the guy puts up numbers and he gets he'll get more buzz than some guy playing whatever in Detroit. Yeah, he went NBA Jam mode. Remember NBA Jam, where like
I love that
fire would literally come out. I think he scored 20 straight points, didn't he, in that game?
He scored their last 20.
Crazy, last one, yeah.
And he had a couple of threes that he rose up over Bol, and I was like, how's that even possible?
Let me ask you, since we're talking Lakers, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Not serious about it, but I want to know if I had done this, just how much you would have openly loathed me on our return podcast. Because I was thinking about just to mess with you, but I don't want just like when we like with a straight face when you asked me who I had, go, I think it's going to be Bronny, and then just try to keep the.
So I didn't throw Bronny. I like that. You know what? The commitment to the bit would have been good. I didn't put Bronny on here. Apparently, there's a lot of money coming in on Bronny for this thing, and I want to know who these people are and why they haven't sought help. I would imagine, you know, like hardcore gamblers slash like the Venn diagram of hardcore gamblers and like unrepentant Lakers fans, and it's just a circle.
Can I give a third one?
Sure.
I have a bunch of buddies I have like 3 buddies of mine that I play tennis with who haven't watched sports their whole lives and are suddenly into sports now. And in the last 3 months will send me the dumbest, I hope they're not watching this, they're not, text message like, man, you know the Chiefs are good? Or, whoa, is LeBron not the best player in the world? Also on the Venn diagram, these guys. Like these dudes who end up in Vegas are like, oh, I better become a sports guy at age 45.
Maybe not paying attention to it. Just as a side little Bronny thing, and we'll definitely break down the Lakers' first game tomorrow night on Wednesday. Do we anticipate that Bronny will play tomorrow and they'll get the Bronny and LeBron thing out of the way?
I think I'm going to that game, TBD, but I'm scheduled to go to that game. And it's interesting. I did a bunch of reporting last week, and including I'll do more today, just trying to talk to real NBA executives who've actually scouted Bronny, right? Who have actually scouted themselves or at least have put time in. And the negativity is shocking. Like some of the quotes I have from people are pretty, like one of the quotes I think was, I don't have my notes open, but was some version of he'll struggle in the G League. And then Friday happened. Right. So there's just, and I hit these guys back and they're like, no, my mind hasn't changed. Like it was so I hope so, because I want to get the Bronny thing out of the way. I'm also just really curious to see quickly whether when it counts, he belongs at the NBA or not. Cause there are still people there's obviously a level of disagreement about that.
I mean, Redick talked about this during the offseason. I believe he was on Zach Lowe's podcast, and he said we're going to get it out of the way sooner rather than later. My anticipation is they get it out of the way, and then he just spends a lot of time in the G League, right? I mean, as well he should. Yeah.
He needs to. Do you think they do it tomorrow and not Friday? Just get it done, opener, get him out there for 5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, pull him out there, you pomp and circumstance, and they get it out. Like LeBron is asked about it afterwards. Bronny's asked about it afterwards, because this is a main narrative for the media. We all want to talk about it. And then you go, thanks so much. Off you go to the South Bay Lakers. Have a great time.
I think you're right.
So who do you have here for ROI? I mean, because I think it's a pretty open race. my favorite. Who do you have?
So I did not look at the odds on purpose when I did these, and I want to sort of
Okay.
compare. So, but on this one, I went Zach Edey, and some of that again will come up a little bit tomorrow. I just think
Sure.
I think people forget how good that team's going to be. That team is going to be, I think, very, very good, and he's going to have a role, and he's going to have an impact. But it's the easy. Also, it's a pretty weak class. It's there's nobody else. Did you go somebody else? Because a lot of these guys are raw. They're raw. These are raw play. Not a lot of immediate contributors.
Continuing the Beyond the Arc curse, I also have Zach Edey.
You do?
Yeah. So as
I have Bronny.
You and I, yeah, you have Bronny.
Yeah.
You and I talked about it during during Summer League, where I was pretty much out on Zach Edey going into the draft, and then watched one game of him during Summer League and was like, I'm in. This is your rookie of the year. He can move a lot better than I anticipated him moving. They were looking for a center to pair with Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. After moving Adams, and like, okay, like now all of a sudden, like Steven Adams is gone, and you're gonna need somebody to suck up those minutes. Here's the other thing: rookie of the year, a lot of the time comes down to opportunity, games played, and minutes, right? And like, okay, Reese Sachet should get some minutes. I think Alex Sarr is going to get a ton of minutes. Reed Shepherd, I think, is super, super talented, and I loved what he did during Summer League. But the problem with Reed Shepherd is
you love Summer League.
The Rockets
You're
are deep.
So swayable.
I am. I'm super swayable.
I love it about you.
I'm easily influenced, but Reed Shepherd can shoot the ball, but I just don't know. You know, if he plays 20 minutes a game, he's not going to be rookie of the year. Dalton Connect, you know, we'll see what kind of rotation minutes he's getting, but I would anticipate he's going to be, you know, their 6th, 7th, 8th guy. That's probably not going to be enough. I think it's Zach Edey because he's going to be a starter and suck up a lot of minutes.
I think that, I mean, you said it. He's going to get minutes. He's going to put up some counting stats. As you noted, there's a need. Like, they drafted him it's a perfect fit. I think barring an injury, there's a reason the guy is the betting favorite, because it's hard to even look at anyone else in terms of opportunity meets readiness and say, oh, that guy's going to be able to sort of simulate or be in the range of what Edey's probably going to do. This one feels easy.
I think so too. Before we move on from the rookies here, producer Aaron has a little fun game that he'd like us to play. Bronny over unders. I'll throw out some over unders for you, and you tell me if Bronny hits the over on any of these. Points per game, 3.5.
As an average over the course of the year.
In the NBA, not the G League.
Right. So like so this is like he'll average more or less than this over the course of the season.
Yeah.
Under.
Games played 34.5.
I mean,
checks into 34.5 games over or under.
So I have asked some people I've asked people, is Bronny going to actually spend time in the G League like he should? Or is LeBron going to want him? I mean, LeBron wants to play with him. So I can't rule out that he wants him on the plane, and that experience, like how much are they going to, for lack of a more sensitive way to put it, undermine Bronny's career further to satisfy what his dad wants? So that's a really tough one. I'll go under, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bronny's there a lot more than he should be.
I'll go under too, because games played. I mean, if he's on the plane, but he's like the 12th guy, he's not there checking in. He's just sitting there and like hanging out with his dad. I'm going to go under on that one. Most minutes played in a game, 13.5.
That's most minutes.
Yeah.
That's a great. I'll go over because
I'm going to go over on this too. I think eventually there's a garbage time game. Right. You know, either they're blowing somebody out or they're getting blown out, and they just let him play the fourth quarter. You know, maybe he had some extra minutes earlier. I'll go over on that one. This one's pretty low too. Highest scoring game, 7.5.
Oh no. That's his highest scoring prop.
Yeah.
Under. I'm going to fade all the Bronnies.
You're going under?
Guys are going to this is obvious, but another scout said this to me. Guys are going to punish him because of how he got to the league and who his dad is, in ways players that could never, ever go at LeBron are just going to take out whatever they feel about LeBron on his kid. I think it's going to be, no one's going to want to get scored out by Bronny James. Under.
I'm going to go over just because of the garbage time game where we said, like, okay, if he goes over 13.5 minutes in the game, that's a blowout. Maybe he just gets some junk time scoring.
He can't shoot.
No, but some layups
and
maybe.
He's small.
But other than that, I think his career is going to be fantastic. Last one for you. Total minutes for the season in the NBA. Once again, not the G League. 110 minutes and a half.
That's the total minutes?
Yeah, 110.5.
Well, you've got him hitting more than 10% on his one
junk time game.
One junk game. I don't know, because again, I think that I'm trying to apply rational logic, and I don't know what the person in charge of the front office and the coaching staff for the Lakers, LeBron James, actually wants to do here. Yeah, I snuck that joking. It's okay.
I like it.
No, it wasn't good. I'll go under, but I'm not. Again, I just don't know what LeBron's plan. You going under?
Under. He gets that one. I'm giving him that one junk time game and garbage time game, and then after that, he's sitting on the end of the bench. Look, just go play in the G League. It would be much better for you.